everyone. My name is Andrea Moje, and I am the owner of Creative Faces glitter sticks and Creative Faces crowns and Creative Faces bling. A little background about me and bling. I attended Lily Walters' workshop, I almost want to say 5 years ago, at her Las Vegas boot camp, and I fell in love with the group Jewel Junkies, and I believe that's where I met Summer, and that's where my blinging began. So Lily is actually retired now, so I have taken over the group Jewel Junkies and am an admin there. And I absolutely love making bling. I have taught bling at the last 3 conventions that I taught at, Art Factory, Fabic, and this last one was at Max, and my attendance was actually outstanding. I am very blessed to be in this industry with friends like Amanda Careford, Manuela Casson, Debs Mills, Candy Jen, who's a sponsor. These are all people that I work with, I bling with, and I have just learned so much through the years of blinging. So today I wanted to make 3 pieces of mermaid bling with you. The first one being these kind of boho side eye bling. I do a lot of adult parties, but these can also be made smaller to a child's face, and these are a great seller. I don't really do festivals, so I don't upsell my bling, but I do private events and corporate events, so I definitely charge enough so that it covers the cost of using my bling. Secondly, I wanted to do a small princess bling, and showing you how to make these mermaid tails. And then lastly was this big, huge monstrosity of a bling, where I always get people saying, oh my gosh, that's too big. No, not for me. Go big or go home. And if you've taken my class before, I was just chatting with Wendy Olson, and she said, I love your vomiting bling outlook when you teach bling. So in my journey through blinging, I have discovered there are 2 types of people. There are the symmetrical, everything needs to line up and be perfect. And if any tulip is showing, then they get stressed out. And the other type of people is just kind of lay it all down, put it all down, and you kind of get a happy accident of this abstract bling. So I'm somewhere in between. And when I teach and I see that people are stressed out, I push them towards the creative part, because I am an art teacher, and I believe that this is good. This is a form of artwork, and you should feel good and not stressed out. All right, so without any further ado, I'm going to show you some stuff down here on my table. All right, so when I am purchasing products, I took tons of pictures. Poor Summer, she had to list them out for me because I'm more of a visual person. So what I did is I just took pictures of everything that I bought so that she could see it, and then I was going to post a collage after. So if you want to know any of the things that I've purchased, I will show you and make a collage in the group and show you the actual purchase of what I did. Okay, so I wanted to jump around a little bit. When we do those Princess Mermaid Bling, this is the clay that I use. It's an air dry clay, and these are the molds that I use. So I believe I got this off of Amazon, and then I got this one at Hobby Lobby in the baking section. And then they do have this one where you can make shells and starfish and seahorses. So you can use all of these things to make clay that can adhere to the bling. So for example, if I wanted to make these little tiny tails here to put on my bling, all I would do is take my clay. When you're done with the clay, you got to put it back in the baggie because it is air dry. And I would mold it into the tail like that. So you squish it in, and then you can cut the excess after. You can always use one of these tools and press them in. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm not going to do it, but just wanted to show you. Same with this one. You would press it in. This is larger. This is what it looks like when it's full, but this is way too big. This would be for a mirror. So I take the body off, and then what you're left with after you've painted it is something like this. Now, see, some of them, depending on the clay that you use, this is a different clay. This is not this clay. This is a clay for my mirror, so I can always just glue that back on. But you have to be careful when you're working with them. They are kind of fragile. So anywho, that is the process that I'm going to use. I already have some tails over there for us to use. I wanted to talk quickly about some sequins. These are $1, and they are like the best fillers ever. And these are in the kids section. I have used these multiple times, but check these out. These ones have mermaids, stars, shellfish, pearls, everything that you possibly can use, and that costs you $1. Then I found these. These are glow-in-the-dark seashells, and if I rubbed a little tiny bit of glitter over the top of them, that could become a center point. So when you're shopping for things to use for bling, look in different sections of your craft store and to see what you can come up with and think outside of the box. I'm going to be using 3 charts today. The first one that we're going to be using is this side-eye chart. You can get these on jeweljunkies.com on Facebook, and they are in the file section. Lily Walters is the one who made these. The second design I said I was going to do was that princess one, so this one becomes smaller. And this is going to be for a smaller face, for a little face. And then lastly, this is for an adult face. And this will be the chart that I use for that one. So I wanted to get right into making the bling. Once my bling is done, come back to me. Once my bling is done, then I am going to adhere it. Well, first of all, let's not jump ahead. Once my bling is done, it sits on these sheets. So on these sheets is a slip cover. And I tend to use the more thick slip covers. The cheapy ones from the Dollar Tree are too thin for me. So I do like using these ones. So they do stay on. Now, if you've made bling before, you know you have to let it set. These are some mermaid tails that Manuela Casson makes. They are made out of resin, and they're like rubbery. They're absolutely adorable. So I made these so I could show you what it's like. And then the process to getting them off. Let me move this over. So hopefully you can see this. The process to getting them off, usually I take the sheet out. And then you want it to be mobile and movable, to press on the back, to kind of wiggle it and see if it's dry. And then if it's dry, you're still going to have a little bit of the wet tulip underneath, but I would just set those out. And I normally have a piece of cardboard or a little box, and I start to line them up to dry. Now this one I made later in the night, so that one is still going to be wet, plus there's a lot of tulip on there. But again, you just will use the back of your hand and you press and you look for a spot that is kind of lifted. If it's not and it's still gummy, don't pursue it. Okay, let it dry. Be patient. Okay, then I go to the next one. This one is still wet. Okay, so I was lucky I found one that was dry, but I'm just showing you the patience level that you need to have. If you don't want your bling to crumble and fall apart, you need to just wait, feel it out, go back, check on it. I'm in an air-conditioned room right now, so again, I did make these late last night, so for one to pop off, that's pretty good. All right, so we're going to move over to where we're actually going to make the bling. So bear with me in my studio. I do have a rather large area. There we go. Thank you, Summer, for pulling those up. So she put up the supply list here of the materials that I'm using. Okay. Going to drop this down just a little bit. And my hopes is that you're going to be able to see better. Okay, so let me show you the tulip colors that I selected. And if all of us didn't already tell you, we all get our medical tape from Summer. I've been getting my medical tape from Summer for years now. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to line all of my bling up. And I'm going to show you a couple different, oh, Candy, that resin was not dry. I had these resin mermaids made. Look at these. These are going to go on the mirrors. These are from Candy Jen. Look how beautiful they are. There's a couple different colors that I use. Gold, pink neon plum, bright teal. Bright teal glows in the dark too, by the way. And sour apple. So those are the bling colors that I'm using for my designs today. Hopefully you can see this. If you need me to drop it down a little lower, I can do that. You guys just to let me know how it is. Okay, so Dominique sent me all of these bling picker-upper tools. These are very fancy, but I'm not a fancy girl. I use poster tack adhesive or the Gorilla Glue little tiny gummy square adhesives. And when I teach class, I put them on toothpicks and I provide them for my students so that they have a gem picker upper and it's ready to go. So if you ever take one of my classes, you will have stuff to work with that I've already prepared for you. I was listening to Dee and she was 100% correct. I have a jar of water and I have a little tiny paintbrush to clean up any of the excess that I possibly could need. So I set all of these things up in advance first. And then whatever bling I'm going to be using, I try to set that up around me. Now I have different themes of bling. So since this is mermaid, I set up specifically for mermaid. So the first one that we are going to do is the side eye bling. So I'm going to put this here. Now, a trick that I learned from Lily a long time ago is if you want them to peel more like, let's see, when you scrape it and you want it to peel and not have little pieces fall off, what you would do is you take a tiny, tiny bit of, I usually just do one little dab of like gold or something, and then I rub it along the edge like this. So I'm creating a base. Now, I went to Lily's boot camp, I don't know, 2-3 years in a row. That's where I met Candy Jen. That's where I met Kathy Zimmerman. That's where I met all of my blinging friends. Marianne Bartley, I mean, you name it, and I met them at that. That was my very first intro to bling. So is this close enough, Summer? Can you guys see? I was trying to get it a little bit closer. Let me know, guys, if you cannot see. I can move it over slightly, but okay. So what I did is I added that little base on the sides there, and it's going to make it easier when I go to peel it tomorrow. So for this one, I did green. So I'll have it out so you can see. This is the one we're going to be making. Let me put it right there so I can see what I got. And then I'm going to start with a big clump in the middle, and I'm going to work my way around. I have another one of these. It's a Day of the Dead, and it actually has the circles. But this one was just in my drawer, so I grabbed it out there because they both work fine. Now, if you notice, I use a lot of tulip. So I don't see any comments. So if everything is all good, thumbs up. Let's see. Let's start to pick out the things. Now, since I made that one green and purple, I don't necessarily have to make this one green and purple. I'm going to pull out some feathers. These feathers I got at Hobby Lobby, and the one cool thing about the feathers is they have these little like dots on them. Look at that. Look how cute those are. So the fun part is trying to find two that match, because that doesn't always happen because they're feathers. So they are a little bit different. So that one's pink and that one's green. Oh, I did find two green. We'll stick with the green then. All right, I found two green that are pretty similar. So I just picked the head off of it, and I don't use the whole feather. Okay, I see a lot of people using feathers and they use these big long feathers. Yeah, don't do that. So I'm going to put the feather directly on the side, out like that. So it's pointing outward. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for, some are posted on there that I use big flowers. So what I tried to do was put what I bought at Hobby Lobby all in one, in here and in here, so that I don't have to be reaching for a bunch of different stuff. I found these in the button section. Okay, now they do have a button little hole on the back. The way that you can use these is if you have some wire cutters. I cut it all the way down, get it as low as you can. Sometimes there's a little piece peeking out, but anytime anything has a back on it, I just cut it right off. I'm going to pop that right in the middle, and that's why I put so much tulip. Okay, now I'll do the next one. Cut the back off. They're not going to feel anything scratchy because it's going to be in between so much medical tape, tulip. It'll be fine. Okay, so then the next thing, if you're looking at this guy, I did were these little leaves, and I'm turning those actually into the mermaid tail. So in here, I would just pull out the two leaves. You can use the lighter green or you can use the darker green. I think this time I'm going to use the lighter green, so I'll have different ones. So pick out two. It helps if you're organized and you kind of go into, like, I like going into just making themed bling. So I'll make mermaid bling from now until whenever, and then reset up for my gay pride bling, which is next. Okay, so I'm going to take both of these and I'm going to put it together like this and create a mermaid tail. I'm going to stick that right into the top. If I find that there's not enough tulip in that area, I'll just add another dab. Okay, and do the same thing for this one. So you take it and then you flip one around. So you make sure like that it looks like a tail. And then you slide that right into the top so it's matching. And I'm going to put another dab on top like that. Okay, so then the next thing I did was find some pearls and some shells. So I posted in there that I went to Hobby Lobby and they had all of these really cool colored shells, and some of them were rather large. So I kind of like dug through there to find the ones that I thought would fit on the face appropriately. Okay, so they've got some really cute ones. So it really doesn't matter what shells you're going to put on there. Just make sure that they're not too huge, and have fun with it. So I'm going to add two of these shells right by the mermaid tail. Those two were similar in size. And that's going to go here. I'm so glad I listed all of this stuff. I went into the little kids section and they had little kid beads. And with the little kid beads, they had all of these little mermaid beads. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's little tails. How cute are these? So I found two of these little tails like this. I'm going to use those in my design. I'm just going to pop those, stick in, let's see. I put it right back here. So I'm still constantly adding more tulip just to create this nice base and make sure that everything is kind of sealed together. Okay, so I hope, again, let me know if this is hard to see. I can drop it down a little bit lower if you need to. Viewer needs to be closer, love. Okay, so how about that? Is that better? Thumbs up? I'll make it sideways like that so you guys can actually see it, if that works for you. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to read the little print. Yep. Okay. So oh, there's a shadow. There we go. That's what we got so far. Okay, so really fast, let me just do this next piece. Okay, going into here, I found a smaller flower, a pearl, and another shell. Okay, so smaller flowers are going to be in this one. And I can pick ones that match. There's purple ones. I might have used all of the, oh, I found two. Okay, so 2 purple ones. Turn it here. Again, if I don't have enough tulip, boom, pop a little, another dot on there. Okay, go back into the shells. A lot of times I'll just hold them in my hand and see what I can come up with. I'm going to scooch that one right in there. And this one looks similar, and I'm going to scooch that one right in there. The one thing I liked about this pearl collection is that you can go from the little teeny tiny pearls all the way up to the larger pearls. This was a great find. There's purple and there's green, so I'm going to add a purple on the back side right there. So again, my bling doesn't need to be exactly the same, but I mean, keeping it similar is cool. On the top, I have more shells and these little cute flowers. Okay, so now I went, I'm going to just use my hand here. I went and found these little things. Now, I don't know if you can see, but they're little tiny shells. They have little pearls in there. They are absolutely adorable. I'm not sure what they are made for, but I was like, oh, I need those. So I grabbed those and was super excited because I thought that's going to go great with my theme. Okay, so I'm going to take some of those. I'm going to take a few more shells, and I just have shells everywhere, so it doesn't even matter. Okay. Here's a trick maybe you want to see. I work on egg crates sometimes. You can get these at the dollar store. And so I'll have like a tray. If I just want to sit downstairs and only pick a few, then I can put them on the egg crate like this. And it makes it easy so I'm not overwhelmed making bling. And if it's like just a couple, I have to make. So that's just a little tip. Okay, so adding this up at the top. Adding this up at the top. Okay, so I want it to kind of loop around right here and pull straight. Loop and pull straight. Okay, so I use these chains. I have a silver and diamond one, and then I have a pearl one. Okay, so I'm going to use the cutting tool that I told you before, and I'm going to measure. And they don't really need to hang too long. I'm going to put them side by side, and then I'm going to cut. And then I'm going to repeat and do it again. Side by side, hold them together. And I don't pre-make all of these because I don't want to waste them. So maybe I'm not going to use it, and I don't want to have just a bunch of little tiny pieces. So where I want that to hang down is going to be right here at the base, right here at the bottom. So it's going to hang straight down. Okay, I hope you guys can see. I'm going to put it right here. And for this one, I'm going to take the back of my tool, and I'm just going to make sure that this is, the diamond side is up correctly. And I'm going to pull it forward. Sometimes I use tweezers for these, but I don't have any on hand. Okay, and I'm going to pop this pearl one right in there. So that's going to dangle straight down. Okay, and then do the exact same thing on the other side. Repeat. Make sure that the diamond side is facing up, and make sure the pearl side, if it's on the front in this one, make sure it's on the front in this one. So boom, like that. Then I took some of these little gems. I got these gems from Dominique House. They are, can you see? Sorry, there we go. So pretty. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to face those towards the out to the nose. Okay, so it's going to kind of have a point on it, and that's going to kind of finish up the look for me. Again, I like exposed tulip. Some people don't like exposed tulip. I do. And then I'm going to do these. I think I used the purple ones already, so I'm just going to go for the red ones. Another purple. I do not. So I have two red ones. I'm going to do the same exact thing, and I'm going to point them towards the eyebrows, just like that. Okay, so now what I can do is take some of my seed beads. These little seed beads you can get at like Dollar Tree. And I dump them out like this. Or I get these little tiny, remember I showed you the sequins over there? I have little sequence flowers like this. And the sequence flowers are so cute. They come with little green leaves. It's just like the possibilities are endless when it comes to sequins. Right there, those green leaves. Ooh. And they are transparent, so they're kind of fun to see there. But yeah, so I put that little flower in the back right there just to create something back there for dimension. And then I take my seed beads and I'm dumping them all around so they're sticking to the loose tulip that's exposed. And these seed beads are green. I have them in all the colors to match because I always use seed beads. It's kind of my thing. And then this little mix, and I'll show you what I put them in. I mean, it's a huge thing. Look at this. Bling treasure. Don't you just want to put your hand in that too? Okay, hopefully that's a little better right here. Okay, so moving this over, I have this little cute shell that I was keeping some stuff on so I could see. Okay, so then I take some of these little seed beads that I was just talking about and this little mixture, and I'm just going to kind of sprinkle that on wherever as well. So whatever gets caught in here, I use. Whatever doesn't, I brush off. But right now it doesn't matter because I have my design. Okay, so it looks very clunky right now with pieces all over. I'm just going to let that dry. Okay, so I would put that off to the side, and that goes into my drying spot. And again, when it's done, it'll look something like this. Ooh, there's the camera, like that. Okay, so that was my first design. Let's move on to the next. If you're interested in any of these sheets, let me know, and I'll let you into Jewel Junkies, and I will show you where the files are. So if you're looking for chains, I would follow like Hobby Lobby sales, and I got these ones. This was $2.49. I don't know if you buy them off of AliExpress. They cut them by the yard, and they're so expensive. So I mean, these are super fun to work with, and they're super expensive if you buy them separately. So I would buy them by the yard like this, and then I keep them here off to the side. Okay, moving on to the next design. The next design is this one with the little princess tail. So I'm going to close up the green. Where did my sheets go? There we go. Awesome. All right. Let's see if I can move this over just a little more. I do not have an overhead what is this called? Tripod. It's a side one, so bear with me. All right, for this one, I'm using the Neon Plum. Again, remember what I said, if you want to be able to pick up your, when it's time to peel your bling, if you want it to come up easier, then you take a little bit of the tulip, use your finger, and rub it along the shape. Now on this one, it's a V and it's in the center of the forehead. Okay, I showed you how to make those little clay tails. Now I do have the tails that you buy from AliExpress that are plastic, but I go through so many mermaid tails that it's more cost effective for me to make my own. I also don't like this part, so I break this part off. Say, oh my goodness, I don't know what happened. My camera just got turned off. Sorry, guys. I think somebody tried to call me and interrupt me in the middle of my bling. So sorry. Okay, so I haven't moved on. I just was putting a little bit of tulip like that. Okay, so that's the first part. Yay! All right, and then I'm going to stick that right into the back right there. And I'm going to find a flower. Again, same ones that I used from before. Doesn't matter what color. You just put a flower right in the center. And these ones are really easy and super fast. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of the pearls again. I'm going to cut it. So for the pearl, I have it about the size. And then I'm going to lay it underneath like that. So you can see. Then I'm going to take some of these longer ones. Let's see, there's pink on there, so let's do some yellow. So that's just what I have. I didn't want to have too much stuff next to me. And I'm going to pop that on one right next to it and pop the next one on right next to it. So it's just making that V shape. Sometimes I will finish these off with little tiny pearls just right on the end if I have time. If I'm in a hurry, then I just try to find like one more thing. I have, let's see, I have these two cute little starfish right here. They got hidden. I don't know where they went. That's okay. We just improvise, and I'm going to put these two shells. So if I can't find something, I move on and I don't let it like slow me down. So I'm going to find two pearls in that same little container. They're teeny tiny, the smallest pearls that come in that. That was such a good find. And then I'm going to put these shells right on the end. Shell one, shell two, just like that. And I can just leave it like that if I wanted to. But because I'm extra, I'm always looking for my seed bead opportunity. So here's some pink seed beads. And I'll just dump a couple out. on so that it gets collected. Now, if you want the pink to be on top of the pink, you can do that, or you can do the teal, since I have a teal flower in the front, and these ones are actually a little bit bigger. And I can put the teal on there. And then once all my seed beads are all over the table, I just brush them off into a little container, and then I have like rainbow seed beads and use those. But it's a good filler. You can sprinkle or poof glitter on there. Everybody has a different system, but that's mine. And see how fast that one was? Oops. Okay, so if, say, there was a little bit of paint that I didn't like, I could take my brush and I can clean it up, dip it in the water, dry it on the towel, clean it up, and smooth it out so that I get the shape that I want. But there's a very quick little small bling for a little face. Okay, put that over here to dry. And number 3 design. This one is my favorite. Okay, so again, this is an adult face, right? Sorry guys, my mouth got a little bit dry. All right, so for this one, I'm going to use gold, and I'm going to use one of the larger faces, a kite bling, some of these nice pointy like sliver ones. These are like mermaid horse eyes. I think those ones are horse eyes. Some big shells, some roses, some pearls, and then finishing off again with a little bit of the horse eye ones. Okay, but the fun part on this is I got to use these really big, cool beads that I found. Okay. Hey, Monica, she uses bling sheets. Okay, sorry, that wasn't meant for me. That was meant for Monica. Okay. Let me pull these out. So, showing you here, these are the plastic ones that you can already buy. Okay, so I need 2 of these pink ones. Then I need I think that's all from this one. Oh, I need the kite bling. Now, again, I usually have all of this set up around me. Let me just grab one thing really fast as you're looking down. Sorry about that. These are the ones with the little slivers. And here are the kite blings. Okay. So I definitely do have almost hundreds of boxes of these. So a kite bling looks like this. Kite gem looks like a little kite. And they come in different sizes. I think I'm going to use the larger one. This one's yellow, but that's okay. And then I have these little, I don't know if you can see them. These are little starfish like this. Ah, my off camera. Okay, so I'm going to put those on my seashell because I'm going to probably want to use those. And then Manuela Catherine makes these. She cuts these little resin pieces, and they are sand dollars in like every color. So I get a lot of my bling making stuff from Manuela. She makes my horns for me. She makes these little starfish. I don't know if you can see those. So these are just great little fillers, right? I'll put a couple of those on there. So put that off to the side. Make sure you close your stuff, guys, because it has a funny way of falling on the floor. Okay, so these were the long sliver ones I was talking about. We're going to pull those ones out. If Amanda was on right now, she would tell me the gauges and the numbers and the sizes and all of that fun stuff. Yeah, not me. Sorry, Summer. I'm horrible with that. Ugh. Okay. But I can make bling, so I guess that's all that matters. So I'm pulling these off to the side. I just wanted you to see the containers that I use, and that one is green and this one is white. So if you're super meticulous and you don't want a green one, then go back in and get the right color. Remember the two kinds of people that make bling? All right, I'm gonna let you look at it one more time, and I'm just gonna go, and I'm just gonna make it. Okay? Ready, set, go. For the sake of time. I'm gonna put down, I'm gonna do real time here. You're gonna see me this is like what I would really do if I was making bling. I'm gonna make more of these because I have a gig tomorrow. Actually Saturday at the Oracle Arena at the Giant Stadium with 15 face painters, and I'm one of the airbrush artists. It's going to be super fun. There's 15 of us. Okay, so if I was going to be making all of this bling, then I would make sure that I put that layer on so it can start drying as I start to work. Okay, and then I have these really big shells. These are oversized shells that I got on LA Express. Grab 2 small flowers, and I just pick a color. Doesn't even matter. If you're doing gold, you can pick any color. I'll do pink. Do that. And really fast, if you wanted to see Manuela's tails, this is how they come. They she sends them to you like this, and they are made of silicone, and they peel and stick, and they're just so pretty. I love those. All right, now I'm going to make a huge pile here. I'm going to work my way all the way up. Work my way all the way up. I'm going to shove this in the back. My fingers are sticky. If your fingers get sticky, use some alcohol. I have an apron on, so I can just wipe my fingers on my apron. And I'm going to pick one of these cool beads that I found. I just love teal, so I'm going to just pick teal again. Actually, I'll pick white this time. Okay, I'm going to pop that right in the center. Boom. I'm going to put another dot here. And I'm going to pick a pearl and put the pearl right there. Okay, then I'm going to take this and I'm going to pull it down. And I can always use my paintbrush to take some of that tulip and work it down, put it in the water immediately, and then pop my kite right here on there. And then if you don't want it squishing out the sides like that, then just clean it up. Take it off, dry it on the towel, clean it up. Okay, so just like painting. Hope I'll look at these questions after. Then 2 big shells. This was the fun part where I have these shells right here next to me. So I don't think that I'm going to find 2 that match, maybe, kind of. Ooh. Ah, ooh, it's like hunting for treasure. So those were the styles that I liked. I'm going to go back and get another set. Like this one would be too big. But I'm going to pull out all the ones that I want and then kind of go from there. I think that was it for all of these shapes. Boom. Okay, so this is the style that I wanted. And looking down at it, I don't care if they're not the same color. I'm going to go with this dark blue and this teal. Of course, teal. And I'm going to point them away, going up, following the design. Then I'm going to take my 2 pink ones right here, and I'm going to put those in, and those are going to be pointing out the opposite, so it's kind of going to make an X with your shells. And then I'm going to take these pointy ones and shove those right in the next vacant spot right there. Okay. Next, found 2 flowers. Now I noticed that that side is thicker with tulip, so if I'm going to do a flower, I want to make sure I have enough base on it to support it. And we'll go with the pink one. All of these flowers right here are from Hobby Lobby. And then I did pearls. Let's do These are kind of like rainbowy blue. Again, if it's a bigger pearl, then I'm going to add a little more tulip, so it'll hold it. Boom. Boom. Okay. Let's add some of Manuela's starfish right next to it. 1, 2. And then these last 2 little beads or little horse-eye gems to finish it off and give it a point. That one has a lot that's squished out. So again, I can remove that, or I can add it to the side so it makes it even. You can always clean things up. You can always cut them. I heard Dee saying you can always cut them after. Totally can. You can cut them and clean them up. Okay. So now what would I do? Ooh, I've got my teal seed beads. And I'm just going to go to town with seed beads, and you can see what a mess I make, and I don't care. And then I just kind of roll it around, let them land wherever they land. And I actually have some gold, so I'm going to throw some gold on there too, especially right down and around by the front. So again, I like to vomit bling. I am not your typical bling maker. This is more artsy fartsy stuff, or at least for me it is. And there you have it, the adult one. Okay, so there's that guy that looks very similar to this one, and that would be an adult bling. So I hope, there we go. I hope that that was helpful. I did want to show you one other thing really fast. Let me come over here. You can see my crayons really fast. Maybe you can see this a little bit better right here. Okay, so when I sell bling, I sell in bling boxes, and sometimes I do them on the sheets like this too, but usually the sheets will go inside of the bling boxes, and they come like this. They're usually my logos on the top of the box, but then I have it so that you can go to a gig and have all of your bling in one place, and it's easy for you to transport. The gold makes it look fancy, so if you do glitter and bling parties, then it just looks nice sitting out on the table. I do put the tissue paper in there, but you don't necessarily have to. But this is kind of on the medical tape what it would look like after. This is a very big one, medical tape. So I do the same way that Dee put it on the medical tape. Here's one of the mermaid tails on the medical tape. Shells, I think Manuela made me that one, that shell. And then you can use, you know, whatever you want to use to make these, but I'm just showing you a great way to, for me to be able to send you horns and wings and whatever styles that you want. And then they don't get broken, because, you know, I don't know if you've ever bought bling and then you received it and then some of it's damaged. I do often buy bling. Another way that I display my bling, depending on if it's on the job or not, is I have these. And they have a plastic sheet over the top of them. And they sit up on an easel, so the whole thing will be packed, and I can see where the kids have taken the bling off, or if I've taken the bling off, and they just match. So sometimes if it's a little girl's princess party, then I'll do the pink one. If it is a beach party or a mermaid party, I would stick it on here. I just use sticky dots to put the medical tape on there. So these are my display boards that I would use on the job. So I hope that you found that helpful. Sorry, I'm moving around. And thank you, Summer, for having me. If you wanted to see any of the stuff that I had purchased, what I did is I took lots of pictures of it. And I can post it after and just show you all of the things that I got. And I tried to buy them from Michael's and Hobby Lobby so that it was accessible to you guys who are here in America, and that you, if you don't want to wait, forever from LA Express, that you can go and buy it now and you can start working now. So I hope that was helpful. Sorry, I don't want to keep you too long, but I hope you enjoyed my 3 different blings. And what I'll do, I actually have a paint night tonight, and I can't paint my face just yet, but I will do a design with one of these bling and show you kind of how it would look with face paint. So I know I have a couple days to post. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and you can find me on Creative Faces Glitter Sticks. Creative Faces for Kids is my kids page. Glitter Sticks is the best way, though, because glitter and bling kind of go together. All right, have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later.